Hi, hello there, Morten Aastad with another video. About a year and a half ago, I went to the record fair we have just a couple of blocks away from me here in Oslo, in merry old Norway. And I picked up a record at that record fair from what I assumed was a band, I think, at the time, that I had fairly recently heard about. Now, I don't remember the source of my knowledge of that band at that time. I'm pretty sure it was one of you guys in the vinyl community who showed me, or showed us all, one of those records. And so I grabbed it, and it was a record by Dooe Lemon. And, anything Australian intrigues Morten. So, as it turned out, it was a very nice price. And it's also one of these Zoetrope. So this is Smooth Big Cat. And this was, and it's the vinyl. One of these picture disc-ish things. Now, since then, obviously I listened to it and I really liked it. I didn't really dive very much into who these people or person was until quite a while later, when some of you guys in the vinyl community got more albums, or a more recent album by Dooe Lemon. And so I decided I wanted to get some more records, and I put them in my wish list at iMusic. Yeah. And then I got an email from iMusic saying that they were having a sale in January/February. And it was particularly on, it was various sales, but one of them was a sale of vinyl records by BMG. And some of these records were now being sold for roughly $20 each. So I grabbed the opportunity and ordered some records that were part of the sale from Dooe Lemon. So, reading up on Dooe Lemon, so it's an Australian artist, and he's a musician, and he is a producer, it says, and he has been performing with his sister, 2-year-older sister, yeah. And his name is Angus Stone. So that was Angus and Julia Stone, and they've released several records on their own, or together rather. And then, since he decided to venture into this new product, he released well, let's call it a solo album under a different moniker. And then after that, he started releasing as Dooe Lemon. She has since then also released solo albums of her own. So he's an odd fellow. Like I said, I like the music. It's pleasantly different from lots of other things, and it has this mood. And when you know that he's from Australia, I kind of sort of make that connection. But having seen him in interviews, I think his Dooe Lemon persona is something that he's put on, and you see these videos, which looks a little bit like those. Oh, what is that? Those Saturday Night Live side project videos. Oh, and now I can't remember. That the guy behind that Brooklyn, and they did all these funny videos, and I'm on a yacht and stuff like that. And he's got this, he's got a beard, and he's does this thing with cigars, smoking cigars, and he's kind of a hairy fellow, and then he's got all these rings, and you think, really, is this the persona that makes this music? Yeah, so then again, I've seen him mostly also along with his sisters, seen little interviews on Australian morning shows, like Good Morning Wollongong and Sunrise, and yeah, with interviewers who don't say no, they say nar. Anyway, guys, let's have a look at this stuff, shall we? Here we go. So I grabbed quite a bunch because of the price, and I think most of these are albums, but one of them I reckon is an EP. Now, of course, I don't really know the order of these. So it's BMG, and it looks like they're all pressed in 2023, so that doesn't help me. So let's have a look at the first record. Now, these records are pressed here in Europe because a lot of Australian artists, when I want to get them, because, for example, Ben Rankins have been talking about them, when I do find them in European, online stores, they cost twice or even more than twice as much or even more than regular records because they're Australian imports. But these are, as I can see here, they're all pressed in the Czech Republic. So the first one I got here is called Kimosabi, and there's the fella himself. And like I said, that's very much sort of the character he seems to be portraying in these as Dooe Lemon. So this is a limited edition sea blue vinyl. I'll try not to mix up where the various hype stickers come from, because they're all kind of samey. There we are. And the back. Yeah, and it's a gatefold. And it looks like I'll be getting used for my nice inner sleeves, because that I had to exchange the inner sleeve on the first one I showed you, and it looks like I'm going to have to do that for the rest of these as well. Yeah, so we got a bit of a booklet here with some drawings, artwork. Don't know if those are by the fella himself. Like I said, it's sort of an odd persona, which I personally, I mean, I like. There's a vibe, and there's a sense of this music that, for a person who likes the nice things in life and relaxing and imbibing certain things. But not in a necessarily a luxurious kind of way, which I feel that his physical persona seems to be portraying somehow. I'm not saying that he should look like a beach bum, but it's kind of the vibe I get from the music, sort of, yeah. So like I said, not my favorite kind of inner sleeves, but definitely cool looking vinyl. Very nice. So next up we have Rose Pink Cadillac. There we are. Yeah, so mostly me showing you, because I don't really have that much more I can talk about or say about Angus. I did do a little listen to what he recorded with his sister, and that sounded very nice as well. So if you are planning on, checking out his music, I reckon I now have all of Dooe Lemon except the album which came out, was it last year? The one with a seaplane on the album cover. And in case you're wondering what this is, I bought a frame yesterday and I got the nice poster for Record Store Day from Dogfish Head from 2024. I got that in a nice frame I bought yesterday. That's the one that Russ sent me all the way from Seattle. So again, we have a booklet with lyrics. This time around there's no drawings. It's the pink Cadillac, Stingray Pete, and pink Cadillac, that makes me think of Clint Eastwood. All the old Australian license plates. Well, I like the current ones as well. There we are. I read that his parents were also sort of folk singers. And apparently, sort of a coming of age, he and his sister traveled to South America. And apparently he or someone taught her to play guitar in, was it Bolivia? Quite the story there. And the second album, which has music on all sides as well. So yeah, I think this was a pretty good deal. Like I said, roughly $20 each. And this is the last of the albums, because I think the next one is an EP. So this one is called Honey Bones, I think. There we are. Very luxurious records, nice, exciting coloured vinyls and gatefolds, except the last one. But like I said, it's not an album. So I was contemplating getting the last album as well in this order, but it basically cost twice as much as all the others, so I left that for another time. So there it is without the shrink wrap. The titles. And right, okay. There's the gatefold on this one. Bit more underwhelming, but I get the point, I guess. And actually here we got nicer inner sleeves, but this is also a pressing which appears to be a couple of years older than the other ones, so I guess they didn't skimp on the inner sleeves then. Nice lemon colored vinyl. And again, here we are, guys. Yeah, nice to get some music from the southern hemisphere, because it's grey, dull, wet-ish snow and cold in Oslo. It's the, what is it, the 22nd of February? And this is Hound's Tooth. And this is the EP, which I was not aware of when I ordered it. Would I have skipped it? I mean, it cost the same as the other ones, so yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs on this. Which also has a better inner sleeve and colored vinyl. And again, with the yellow greenish actually. It's almost, yeah, it's almost somewhere between lemon and lime, I suppose. Very nice. Yeah, guys, that's all she wrote. Don't really have anything else to add to this other than you know, check out Dooe Lemon. I do enjoy well, I keep saying his music, but I suppose it's a moniker or a band name for Angus Stone. So if you haven't heard them before, do check out these records. I'm sure you will probably like them. I do, I really do. And please click like, that helps my channel. If you want to subscribe, that makes me happy, and I'm always glad when you leave a comment, guys. Take care, hope to see you soon in another video. Bye bye.